So Jordan buys 2 new jerseys and a glove for softball. She pays the price shown for the glove and gives the clerk 2 $50 bills to pay the exact amount. How much does Jordan pay for each jersey? Write and solve an equation. So today we're going to be talking about how to take a problem that looks like this and be able to write an equation and solve for a missing value or missing number or whatever it is that's not there. We want to learn how to take information from a question and figure out how to solve that. That is something that's very important. It's where we see algebra most of the time. It's where we see, hey, I know a lot of information and there's a little bit of information that's missing, and I need to figure out how to get to that missing information. So let's look through this word problem. Let's talk about things we know that are true in this word problem. So we know Jordan buys 2 jerseys and a glove. And we know that her glove, she pays the price shown for the glove. The price shown here is $44. So we know that the glove is $44. Okay, that's one thing we know. She gives the clerk 2 $50 bills. So she pays 50 plus 50. And that is the exact amount. There's no change going to be given. Her payment equaled exactly 2 $50 bills. And then we want to know what we're looking for here is how much does Jordan pay for each jersey? How much does each jersey cost? So we're trying to figure out how much does the jersey cost. So, and we know each jersey is going to cost the same because they're the exact same jersey. She buys 2 new jerseys and glove. The jerseys are the same jersey, so she's paying the same price for both of them. It's not some kind of tricky thing. We're not trying to trick you here. All right, so we know that on one side of our equation is going to be our total cost. And our total cost was $50 plus $50. That's how much she paid. That's how much everything she bought was worth. On the other side is things that we know have value to them. How much do these things cost? And so we know that we have a glove that was $44 and also 2 jerseys, but we don't know the cost of those. So we're going to put an X here. This X is our variable. Variable just means a missing value, right? So variable means it's something that is unknown, and we need to figure out what is known. Okay, so we need to solve for X to figure out what is known about this equation. All right, so here we wrote our equation. We have our 3 things here. We have the jersey, or the glove cost. We have the amount of money she paid cost. And we have the fact that there were 2 jerseys that were an unknown cost. Okay, so all these things add together. She bought 2 things, and that equals the amount of money she paid. Okay, so that's how we know what goes on each side. It's just thinking through, well, she paid money, whatever she paid, that has to be what everything equaled. That had to be what the cost equaled, is how much she paid. Now, we can solve this. We can go through and we can solve this equation by doing our multi-steps. So we know over here we can simplify this side. 50 plus 50 is 100. Then we want to get rid of this 44. Remember the opposite of PEMDAS. Get rid of this 44. Get rid of this 44. That's going to give us 2x equals 56. And then to get x by itself, we're going to divide by 2 and divide by 2. And we're going to get our grand total for each jersey, which is going to equal $28 for each jersey. Every jersey is $28. So one jersey is $28, a second jersey was $28, the glove was $44, and that gives us a grand total of $100. Okay, so we want to look at each question. We don't want to look at each question and give up because there's so many words and we don't like reading because this is math class. That's too bad. We're gonna work through these problems so we can learn how to solve word problems. I know word problems are scary and I know we don't like to do them very often. We're gonna work together on figuring out what to look for, what's important, and how we can write that into an equation. All right, let's try another one. A batting machine uses an automatic baseball feeder. During baseball practice, the feeder is 1/6 full. An attendant fills it with 15 baseballs so that the feeder is now 2/3 full. How many baseballs does the feeder hold when it's full? Okay, we've ramped it up. We've involved fractions into our equation here. Okay, so some things we know. During practice, the feeder was 1/6 full of baseballs. It had 1/6 of the total amount of baseballs. At some point during practice, the attendant fills it with 15 baseballs. What that means is this is going to be something that we're going to be adding 15. Right? If we fill something with 15 things, we've added 15 things into it. Now, the total number of baseballs is 2/3 full of what it could be. So after adding 15 in, we can say after we added 15 in, we know we now have 2/3 of the total number of baseballs. This X here is going to represent the total number of baseballs. And then we know it started with 1/6 full. So it started with 1/6 of the total number of baseballs. And then we added 15 baseballs. And now it equals 2/3 of the total number of baseballs. So this is our equation here. Started with 1/6 full, added 15, got to 2/3 full. And now we want to solve and say how many baseballs can fit inside this pitching machine. So let's do what we do with fractions. We're going to multiply everything up here by 6. We're going to multiply 6 because that's our least common denominator of 6 and 3. 6 times 1, 6. This is the same thing as 6 over 1. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 6 is 6. This is going to just give me x plus, then we go 16, or 6 times 15 is going to be 90 equals, and then we have 2/3 times 6 over 1. 2 times 6 is 12 over 3 times 1 is 3 equals 4. Equals 4x. Now we want to solve for x, and here we have variables on both sides. And when we have variables on both sides, we want to get all the variables to be on one side. We're going to minus x from this side and minus x from this side. Now, if we have 4 x's and we get rid of one of our x's, we're left with 3 x's. And that equals, over here, we're left with 90. And now to get x all by itself, we're going to divide by 3, divide by 3. We're going to get this pitching machine can hold 30 baseballs. This pitching machine here holds 30 baseballs, and that is the total number of baseballs that it can hold. Okay? Look through our story. Find out the values that we need that are important. Figure out what are we trying to solve for. We're trying to solve for how many baseballs does this feeder hold. Okay, so we know what we're trying to solve for. We know the values. We've just got to know how to put them in the right order and solve for our equations. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Try and write out an equation for this word problem I'm going to give you, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night.